Hello, Jimjamatic here. Welcome to a brand new episode of Robot Wars episode reviews. I shouldn't sound so cheery because it's the International League. Yeah, it's just the International League, and unfortunately, I had to drag Anderson into this one.
I am way too sober for this. Okay, I think I need to drink like 30 bottles of beer and then break each one over my head just to help me get through this one. Because fuck me, this is awful.
This is not a good. This is not a good episode. If you couldn't tell, this one, it's just like it's. I like the idea behind it, but there's just
This
nothing.
is to Robot Wars. This is to Robot Wars what Theresa May is to politics, people. There you go.
Kind of true, but also, it's sort of like weirdly enough, it's like a prototype of what the new series came to be. You know, where they have a league table with sort of points and stuff. It's sort of like a weird version of it, except. Yeah, this one, I mean, they tried something different, and I'll give them credit, they tried, but they didn't really have the robots at this time period to really have loads of great battles. And also, this is supposed to be the Dutch and the, was it the Dutch and Australian pilot, and the American pilot, and the American pilot.
Yes, Dutch, Australian, and American pilots.
And none of them really worked, so...
In all honesty, I liked the idea of the league. I'll give them that, because it was original.
I think if it appeared in Series 7 or 6, it could have been better.
Yes.
But in Series 3...
Or the only ever German Robot Wars Championship, which I will get to one day in my videos when I can be bothered to make them.
You gotta keep making them. And obviously these are split into two different groups, Group A and Group B, each consisting of 3 robots. And we'll start with Group A because A goes in first, and of course we'll start with the winner of the group, Dietor. Of course. What can you say about it? I mean, you were on the episode with Dietor for this series, weren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you say about Dietor again? That hasn't really been said. It's just this.
It's hot stuff.
It's hot stuff, and it likes to be set on fire. And also from the recent Facebook picture of Dietor, it looks like it has been burnt again.
Yeah.
Which I am so happy.
Me.
It doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, there's a flame pit in the arena, so or maybe just someone ran in and just threw some like the Molotov cocktail at it, and then just ran out again.
Someone went out there was just like a flamethrower of their own, and then that was it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dietor's cool. It's just its spotty, springy, smiley, flammable self as usual, and it was actually competent in this episode, which is good.
Imagine in fairness, in its group, it didn't really have much competition. Like not amazingly a powerful competition, but I mean, Dietor's usually quite reliable anyway. So.
Yes.
As long as it wasn't in Group B, it probably would have done alright. So, and thankfully it wasn't in Group B, so that's why it did that. That is why it managed to win.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have a Belgian entry, the first Belgian entry of thousands and thousands of them and Cobra. Dipoposaurus Rex, the robot you can't spell to save your life.
I can't spell to save my life anyway, let alone Dipoposaurus bloody Rex. I will say this though about it: for a first attempt, especially at the time. And for a country that had never really done robot combat before, I have to give the team props. This is actually not that bad of a first shot. I mean, it's well armored, it's well designed because it had the rollover thing that didn't work in this one, but whatever. It had a competent weapon. I mean, there's not really much you could. I mean, it's a bit slow in places, but then again, there were quite a few slow robots at the time anyway. I mean, again, like I said, for a first attempt from a team that had never done it before. Okay, I mean, sure, it's not what I'd say concussion, but it's. For the time, it was really good.
I mean, also, they made Philippa later on, and they actually managed to take out Panzer Mark II and Black Hole. So,
I still don't understand it. I mean,
it's pretty cool, though. They can take out Panzer Mark II, and I mean, that was the robot that was dominating the battle, and also taking out the German champions as well, randomly.
Yes, very, very, very. It's a very competent and reliable robot. They always made competent and reliable robots. Until Chaos 2 got in the arena with it, and then that was it.
Of course, but I do like the team. They're pretty cool. The Poppies. I love saying that name. Poppy.
The Poppy.
Yes. Poppy. And then
Poppy and Nancy Poppy.
It's a fun name. What can you say? And then of course we get to Terra Australis. What?
It was terrible.
It was
Pun intended.
What can you say about Terra Australis? It's not worked the entire time. It was in the World Championship, didn't work. In this one, didn't work. They had to use Nemesis.
at least they had the friggin' brain capacity to actually take it out of the bloody arena this time. What I don't get is why didn't they also just throw Nemesis in for the World Championship? Okay, it would have lost, but hey, it would have been a bit more of an interesting battle.
I don't know, because I think because the World Championship was filmed first, so I think maybe they tried their second attempt and they just went, "Oh, we'll just have to use Nemesis for the second one."
Yeah, maybe.
I know it's definitely filmed first because robots like Technolease weren't destroyed, in the World Championships. I mean, and also Prometheus was still working in the World Championships. That's the way I see it. So they must have been filmed first.
Yeah,
but I mean, Terra Australis later had to use, because they didn't work. They had to use Nemesis without any fur on it. Just
paint it green. I mean, what I think's really funny as well is like in the actual interview, you could tell they had no fucking clue what they were talking about when they go into this machine, because they never worked it. They were like, yeah, we got some nice spikes and got some spikes, little claw things, and we're gonna use our spikes and we're gonna win. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
actually, the question I always wonder is why did the Nemesis team bring Nemesis with them?
To be honest, I don't actually know. And what also confuses me is how the fuck did Nemesis not get through customs okay, but Theodore didn't?
I think it didn't have the fur on. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think what it was like I said, from what I remember reading, the customs believed that Theodore's flipper was like a bloody shotgun or a rifle or something.
Oh,
because
okay.
they're fucking idiots. But so yeah, but I mean, I guess maybe they brought it along for a static display, because I mean, a lot of teams would do that.
Maybe.
Obviously back then they let people in the pits still, didn't they? To come and have a tour around the pit. So they might have it's like a static display or something, and then
maybe
or maybe it was just lucky. Maybe Zulu took his hand out of his pocket and Nemesis fell out. When oh, here you go, you can use this, lads. There we go.
That seems more believable somehow.
Yes.
I mean, but base Terra Australis sucked so much. I mean, that little saw that barely sticks out of the robot, and then the wheels look like. I comment this in the World Championships. I'm filming these out of order, but I comment they look like dumbbells. The wheels, they don't like proper, and they barely. It looks like it can barely move at all, even if it did work.
Well, what's stupid is it can only get to 3 miles an hour.
Oh Jesus!
Now, not being funny, but if you have ramming spikes as your weapon in the back of the robot, how the bloody hell are you supposed to ram them into someone and cause damage at 3 miles an hour?
Sheer luck, that's what.
That just doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's stupid. I mean, again, I'll give them credit. They were the first ever team from Australia to try and make a robot. And, again, it was their first attempt. And again, Australia, even today, doesn't really have a massive robot combat fighting,
No, not really.
Scene. So, to be fair, I think people just looked at this and thought, yeah, fuck it, we ain't bothering. But but still, like I said, fair play to them. They came all the way. They attempted. Yeah, okay, they failed miserably, but all power to them. At least they tried. But,
yeah. And then that was Group A, and obviously Dieter wins this group. But we'll get into the details of how the battles go later, of course. But we'll go to the winner of Heat B, Group B, Razor, because Razor's the only one that could win this. God damn it.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, when Mr. Psycho covered this about a few months ago, when he's wrapping up Series 3, honestly, his summation of it, or the fact that it's just give Razor an award episode. Because they felt sorry for Razor at some point, because he only got the World Championship. They thought themselves, well, they did really shit in everything else. Let's just give them the pinball. Let's give them the World Championship. Let's give them the international. Just give them everything else apart from the title for another few years.
Yes.
And again, Razor's it looks nice. It's decently designed, but it just never seemed to work for 3 series for some reason. Apart from the times that it didn't matter.
I've said this before. Not a fan of Razor because I find it boring, but I respect the hell out of it. I mean, in all fairness, it won practically everything that was thrown at it. You can't deny that. Fair play to them. And what I will say is, though, obviously, I don't know if you know this, James, but I think quite a few people do know this. For those of you who don't, it was actually meant to be Cassius 2 fighting for the UK in this, but obviously, due to Mr. Garrett's protest, he left. What annoys me though is why didn't they pick? I mean, again, I know it's just throw another trophy on Razor thing, but I mean, it would have been nice to see some other robot represent the UK for God's sake.
Mortis. Mortis is already in the Ashes. Yeah, it's in the Ashes. I mean, Behemoth.
Behemoth came second in the World Championship. Give them a shot at it. They deserved it. 101 maybe. Okay, I mean, I know it would have Probably
Still,
made the episode less entertaining, but fuck it, it did well.
throw Hypnodisc in, see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Hypnodisc has never represented the UK, which I find weird.
It did in that UK versus Germany battle against
Oh, fuck that.
nasty warrior in Extreme One, and it lost.
That's the reason why I never represented the UK again.
Yes.
Lost to it lost to essentially Overdoser 1.0. So, but
yeah, I mean, they could have thrown Beast Bombing in there. I mean, technically,
maybe, yeah.
they
Panic
were legend.
Panic
Yeah, they
Attack.
were a legend. Yeah, but they were Wales, not England.
UK.
And of course, this was when they separated the bloody countries, the 4 countries out.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? But yeah, Razor. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm fairly neutral to Razor. I don't really care about it, but I appreciate it. But I'm not really. I guess this might sound really harsh, but I generally forget Razor exists sometimes. I generally do. I don't know why.
It's the reverse effect. It was just there. It was there so much that you actually forgot about it.
Yeah, I have the same thing with Gemini and Tornado and some other past ish where it was like really big cheese as well. Like I just kind of forget they exist because they kind of went out of fashion really quickly. Except Tornado. Tornado just kind of went oversaturated. But yeah, Razor just crushes shit, and that's what it does. That's what it does best. And
I know it's not razor or shaving razor. It's razor, as in something that raises.
Yeah, of course. And then if they made a sequel, they should call it Eraser.
Oh,
Come on.
Oh, you dirty bastard! Oh,
thank you.
Good one.
Thank you. And then we go to the box on wheels, which is Technolease.
Right, no, okay, I'm sorry. I don't get Technolease. I mentioned this to you earlier, James. I'm going to say it again. Ramming spikes on the front of a slow-moving robot will never work, all right? So just a few robots, or this robot. We've already mentioned Terra Australis, Alien from the football competition in Series 3, Brimher. A slow robot with a spike isn't going to do anything. And that little disc on the arm is pretty cool. I'll give it that. Fair play, but it didn't really reach out that far, so it wasn't really hit much, and it was on the back of the robot, meaning it was hard to bring into effect.
Pretty much.
But it was shiny, so I'll give it that.
It was very shiny, but at the same time, though, very easily crushable.
Yes. Yeah. Although fair play to the team captain, he went on to create the first ever Dutch champion.
And the only champion never to, apart from technically Typhoon 2, to never actually reprise their role in the next series.
Yeah. And making it one of the very, very few robots that's up there with robots like Ultor and Anvil that haven't been defeated in robot combat.
And of course, Jim Struts.
God, yeah. Well, the Strut series. Yeah, bloody hell.
All the Struts.
You have robots like Razor, Hypnodisc, Chaos 2, Firestorm. All of them have been defeated. Miss Struts, get in.
Yeah, pretty much. But Technolease is just a box, a shiny box. I mean, as you said, I do like the way I like the fact the disc comes out of the body, like you can't see it until it comes out. Like it's like a secret soul. I can't like that, but then it's just again, it's at the back of the robot. It's so tiny. Even hit in the World Championship, it hit the arena wall, which made me laugh. Like they fired it too quick and went, oh shit. But it's just Technolease, honestly. And then finally, we get to the first American entrant to actually get into the battle, Prometheus. I don't like Prometheus.
No,
I don't like it. I mean, it's a bit of a mess.
What annoys me about Prometheus is because robot combat had been a thing in America for some time by this point. I mean, heck, it was started in America. In all fairness, I mean, okay, we perfected it because Americans are better, because British are better than Americans. No offense to anybody who's American. Sorry, enough patriotism. But it annoyed me because you had all these. I mean, like you had La Machine. You had Biohazard, and these weren't contractually obligated robots by this point because it wasn't televised in America yet. You could have any of these robots to come over and represent, America, in the UK, and we get Prometheus. And what's really annoying is I believe, I don't quote me on this, but I believe there was another version of Prometheus that was entered in the US before this, which was better than this one. They didn't enter that one, they entered this one. Why?
Actually, Prometheus is kind of like a surprisingly a veteran because they appeared in '96 and '97. Robot Wars in America.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
saying. The one that was there, yeah, that one was better than this.
of course. Of course it was. But this version of Prometheus, I mean, it had a sword they had to get rid of because it was hardened, I presume. But
Yeah.
it can't go backwards. It shakes itself loose where the top panel fell off in this one, but also lots and bolts went flying against Weldor in the World Championship. And it just seems to constantly just break down out of nowhere. Because it has no bottom panel as well, so if you lift it up, you basically just get a free range on the electronics as much as you want.
What I think is also quite funny is the robot is surprisingly empty, because you see in this one, don't you? Philippa looks on the inside and is smoking, and there's literally not much inside that big case.
But it's heavier than Razor, though. By one by 1 kilogram, it's heavier than Razor. I bet it's must be the armor, maybe. I don't know.
Basically, what they did was they put a middleweight inside a heavyweight shell. That's what they did.
Imagine, it is petrol powered, and petrol engines are quite heavy.
They are.
So maybe, but even
that's what annoyed me though. It's a petrol engine, so it's meant to have much more pushing power than everything else, and it gets outpushed by a bloody electric slow box.
And the way it bounces when it hits the walls because it can't reverse. It feels like a robot out of control. It always does.
Yeah. In all honesty, right, I'm going to say this. Oh, yeah, it's also really quick as well. It's like 30 miles an hour, and it's like, how can you not have a reverse gear with it that bloody quick?
I don't know.
But what I want to say is this is actually one of the few instances where I'm sad that Razor did not face off against it, because it would have been nice to have seen Razor chew this one up. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm not a fan of Razor, but I mean, I'm not saying Razor always is boring. It's had some great battles. I just think that most of the time it was a dull watch. Yeah. But this is one of the few times where I would not mind it chomping down on something.
Also, because of this International League and World Championship failures, this caused the team to retire from robotics. Wow. This was the straw that broke this team's back. It really did. 2 series in America, and this one they come up, and then it's like, fuck it. Oh well.
Let's go to NASCAR. Yeah.
Yeah, NASCAR. I guess I don't know. I don't really know what that is, but whatever.
Motorsport, you pillock.
I don't care about American stuff. All right. give me British stuff, you know.
The American Red Wolf.
No. Yeah. And we'll get to those exciting battles then. Oh, you're doing amazing. First one.
Exciting.
I know. I pained me to say that, to be honest with you. The first one is Dilophosaurus Rex versus Terra Australis / well, I should really say Nemesis, because their first one didn't work. It was quite a dull battle when they actually managed to get going, because it was just 2 slow robots, one with the more effective weaponry pushing another robot around for a while.
I'm going to say this now, actually. I do personally believe that this is one thing that the round robin got better in the reboot than it did here, was the fact that obviously judges' decisions were a thing in the round robin in this in the reboot series. In this special, if you fought to an end, it was a draw. Stupid.
It is very stupid. I mean, it didn't help this battle wasn't very good either.
Oh, no, it didn't. I mean, I would have liked to have at least seen something like... What I think was funny, though, was Philippe Papé. He'd like turned around and said, "Oh, I fed up with the judges' decisions." It's like, it wasn't a judge's decision. It was a bloody draw, you idiot. But no, this was crap. It was crap. In all fairness. But this is why, because I was just about to say, yeah, but the best robot won, but they didn't, because it was a bloody draw.
Yeah, just a draw. And then it was almost like the Pulsar and Ironside 3 weird draw they had recently.
Who do you think would win this? I think personally, Dilophosaurus Rex won this one.
You had to think about that? No. I was thinking, Jesus. And then, of course, father against son. Diotor against... I'll just call it Nemesis. It's not Terra Australis, it's Nemesis. Diotor against Nemesis. I mean, and the better one won, because one was actually better than the other, because it was an upgraded version, and it pushed into the pit. Done. All right?
It was an interesting spec, though, to see just how improved their engineering had come.
I think is it actually? I'm trying to think. Is there actually any other instance where a robot has fought its previous version?
On the actual show, I don't think so. No,
I can't think of another example of when that happened. It's quite surreal in a way.
Yeah, I mean, like for example, Roadblock and Beast of Woman fought each other, but that was off camera.
Yeah.
No, I can't honestly think of a time. apart from this.
And it showed you why one was upgraded and one wasn't,
Yes, it
because
did.
it went straight in the pit after a really bit of shoving. Yeah, these battles are great, by the way, folks.
Yep.
Uh,
Although I will give Deitor this, right, it was a bloody good pitting. It literally flicked it up, carried it in, and dumped it. Happy days.
yeah, and actually, one of the a really good and Deitor was great in the next battle as well, because it defeated Interpeposaurus Rex against Deitor. It flipped it right over, and the roll cage didn't work this time.
Yes.
It
And also, right, the Dilophosaurus Rex rocking into the pit was hilarious. In all fairness,
That was pretty funny. It couldn't even fit in the pit.
Yeah, boink, in you go.
Actually, this was actually a rematch from the World Championship, wasn't it?
Yes,
Because
it was. That was a really good battle. Actually, I felt in the World Championship. I thought it was It was very close. Deitor owned at the beginning, and then sort of just got pwned at the end. But yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of it again, there's a lot of pushing and shoving until Deitor got that one flip in, and then
yes,
it just rolled into the pit.
yes.
Or I should say, rolled onto the pit, really.
Oh, if you think that we're just skipping a load of stuff here, we're really not. This is literally the battles. We're going through it.
No,
there's nothing else to discuss.
And I'm not joking, folks. That was Group A, and Deitor, I think, won by a massive margin. But
Yeah, it got 6 points, didn't it? But it got 6 points, and the other two got one each, and that was it.
It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same in Group B as well.
Yeah.
And then the first battle, which is just Prometheus versus Technolease.
This is cack.
I mean, it's two. I mean, how did Technolease outpush Prometheus? I don't know.
I don't know. This was a draw again. This one, in all fairness, was a lot closer than the last draw.
They both broke down, though.
They both broke. Yeah, exactly. They both broke down, and in all fairness, it wasn't so much as an outpush as it was, like sort of just pushing at the same sort of power. I think Technolease did push them back a little bit, but then they got pushed back a little bit. It was reasonably close, but I probably would say that Technolease should have won if it went to the judges. That's just me.
Maybe. I mean, actually, if you watch it kind of closely, Technolease actually breaks down before Prometheus. But then again, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even worth it, because it's not like Prometheus is going to be doing anything else in this league, because we should have had Razor against Prometheus, but they died. And actually, one thing Mr. Psycho pointed out, which I have to admit, because I think it's one of those specials I just didn't really care about, as I never watched it often. So I really watched it properly for the first time when I was watching his live review of it, and I realised they didn't actually get another robot to replace Prometheus. They just let it die.
Well,
I don't know.
In all fairness, there was no way they could really, because even if they did get something else to replace it, they would only have one battle.
Yeah, I know, but they did the same thing with Terra Australis and got a replacement, but it was 2 battles. But then it still would have given them a chance to do something. Rather than just go, well, I guess we're out of it. I don't know.
They could have got Panic Attack in there. That would have done something, I mean,
that would have been great. But against Razor, that'd be quite cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'll tell you what they could have got in there to represent for the internationals, and that's Killer Ants. Because it's a British robot, but it represented the Czech Republic because Dominic was part Czech, and apparently, if the internet is to be believed, Killer Ants was actually the first robot to have an anti-crusher device.
Maybe, I think so.
It was, because basically it had some, its sides were like sort of slanted. Well, they had some big polycarbonate sides to attach to that, so basically to make it really tall, a bit like Agrobot was, or Backstabber.
Yeah.
The claw wouldn't be able to get hold of it; it would just keep sliding off, sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
So that would have been interesting to have seen in the arena.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, but
no, Prometheus flying and breaking down, and nothing else.
Now we never see him again.
Yep.
It's sad that the Prometheus in the UK did better than it.
Yes.
Jesus.
That's saying something. Jesus Christ.
And then the final battle, which we actually got to see Razor the first time Razor did anything. Razor against Technolease, and it was pretty much a massacre. It was like Razor against 101.
Yeah, it was very, very, very one-sided.
There was nothing Technolease could have done, and it broke down at the end, and Razor just chomped it up.
In all fairness, it was. Hang on, now let me think. The second KO Razor ever got.
Yep.
Been in so many fights by this point, only 2 KOs. Happy days.
That's true, actually. Yeah. Wow.
All talk in this. There you go.
Actually, Backstabber as well.
Oh yeah, all right, I'll give you that because Backstabber did technically die before it got pushed in the pit. I don't count pushing in the pit as a KO. because the robot would still be mobile. But because Backstab actually died before it got pushed in the pit, I'll give you that.
Okay, whatever. But
Well, no, I mean, I'm sorry, right? But no, if a robot can still move, technically it hasn't been KO'd.
I guess so. But KO
It,
just
I
can't
mean,
be pushed in the pit though.
yeah, yeah, I know.
That has been knocked out. Don't matter if you're getting knocked out properly.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is like, in my opinion, it should be a case of immobilization counts more as a KO than being pitted just because you can't finish your opponent off.
I can see where you're coming from.
You know, I mean,
but
that's what I go for.
I can see where you're coming from, but you're wrong.
No, not really.
I'm joking.
KO is an immobilization.
We've talked more about this in the actual
But,
battle. This battle's shit, as we just kept talking about it for ages. Although probably it's probably the better battles of the Heat, which is sad.
That is actually a sad thought, isn't it?
And then the best battle is probably the final. Because it actually is the two best working...
But that's not saying much, is it? I mean, come on.
The best working robots toward the end, at least. But before we get to that, we have two side events, and they're both shit.
Yes, two specials in inverted commas.
First one was the War on Independence, sort of like a conclusion to a middleweight battle from Heat C, another shit heat. A-Kill versus Tentamushi, and Tentamushi won. Okay.
Why these two? Why these two? This is... Oh, my God.
I don't know. I mean, it was quite a boring battle, really. I mean, A-Kill just went in the pit at the end, and that was it. Woo. Although, fun fact, actually, this is out of all the kind of like, independence battles and all that kind of stuff, this is the only one out of all the main competitions that concluded in an historically accurate battle.
Yes, it is.
Because obviously, in the Series 4 Independence, Mortis won, which was British, and that didn't happen. Same
with the in the American series, obviously Extreme Warriors, they had both the Civil War, which is won by the Confederacy, which was Manta, which represented the Confederacy. I think it was the Confederacy, the South, basically. And obviously, they also had their own War of Independence, which won by Pussycat, because get in, Britain.
Ha! You'll never win, America, except this one time.
I'm surprised there weren't any more historical-based ones. I mean, I guess it is kind of bad, basing a robot combat about war.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But
yeah, I'm surprised there was never another one. But oh well.
Yeah, well, but this was quite a boring battle, in fairness.
It was crap.
Tentamushi won. Yay!
Yeah. In all fairness, the better robot won. I can't moan at that. But...
Oh yeah. And then they also have the Ashes, which was Nemesis against Mortis. I'm not calling it Terra Australis, because it's not. And Mortis actually got to do something and flip a robot over and win, which is very rare for Mortis in Series 3, so give them credit. And this is the second time they faced Terra Australis, but in two different forms. One didn't move, and one did move, and still didn't work. So, awesome. You can all do that.
This was poo.
Yeah.
Honestly, this was poo. It was over in a matter of seconds, really.
At least
the only
Mortis
real saving grace is that it was a dominant display by Mortis, but like you said, it's not really seen much considering it's against Nemesis.
Yeah. And then, of course, the Heat final, which is Dietor against Razor. It was a bit quick. Razor just kind of grabbed it. I mean, Dietor attempted to flip him a little bit, but didn't really flip at all. It didn't really do any damage. And then, yeah, Razor pitted them. That was actually the Heat. I'm not even skipping much, really. I don't think. This is the shortest episode ever for Series 3.
To be honest, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised this didn't catch on in Australia. I'm honestly not surprised.
Or America.
And
in this kind of format, though. Come on.
Yes, yeah.
Or the Netherlands used Series 5 version, which is better.
By the way, here's a question for you: do you ever intend on doing the Extreme Warriors Dutch series and German Wars? Because I'd be interested in doing those.
I might. I mean, I might do it once I've got once I've got the main old classic series out of the way. I might think of doing that alongside the newer series.
Because you have a bit of an advantage in the German series because you actually speak German quite well, don't you?
Yes, I do actually. So that would be quite helpful. But it does help. It does help. I mean, I can't understand the Dutch guy to save my life, but he's entertaining enough. They basically speaking English. Who cares?
The Dutch version is brilliant. So I think the host and the commentator are fantastic. They're just so enthusiastic, especially the commentator.
It's a shame that half the robots aren't that great in the Dutch version.
Technical fucking knockout, dirty.
Fried like an eagle. But
Burn, baby, burn, burn.
we're just rambling at this point because the
Well,
heat's already heat's already.
the episode was crap.
All right, then out of
Let's put it
10.
this way.
Okay,
Let's put it this way, right? Let's put it this way, right? Okay, thus far we are what, about half an hour into this?
yeah,
That's shorter than what it takes to do a series 2 episode.
yay. Sure, it's got to this point where I don't, actually, because normally in my editing I put like a little video of the robot getting introduced.
Yeah.
I feel like I just can't be bothered doing that. It's not even worth it.
just upload this and your logo. Just upload this and your logo. Happy days, done. Right.
I'm kind of I'll probably just do that. I mean, I do it for that in the World Championship because they're just. I mean, you've seen most of the robots already. I mean, I'll do it for the new robots maybe, but not the old ones. Which means I can cut some robots off this one as well. Yay! But yeah, this heat's cack. It really is. I mean, do I dare ask out of 10?
Oh god, this is I want to give it naught, but I can't give it naught in all honesty because, like I said, there are some aspects that I do at least appreciate. Like for example, the Prometheus Rex being a very good first attempt. In all fairness, the best robot did win out of a lot of them. I can't fault it for that. Not all the battles were overly dreadful. 2 out of 10. I think I give it. It's definitely not the worst episode.
No, it's in my top 10 least favorite, but it's not the very high end.
Oh, it's not. It's probably. I'd say it'd probably be like mid level section.
It'd be about 8 or 7 for me in my whole overall ranking. But it's just it's a crap episode. This one, let's face it. I mean, thankfully, next time we have the World Championship, which is a little bit better. There are some decent battles in it. We actually have more British robots, but then again, it makes it better because they can fight. So, apart from Deitor, the only one they can fight, so that's good. But there are some exciting moments. The Chaos 2 Kilohertz bit, the Chaos 2 and Razor fight, the Heat Final with Behemoth. You've got Deitor actually the funny one with Behemoth flipping over Deitor constantly. That was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
Just taunting
Weldor versus 1-on-1 was a pretty cool fight.
That was pretty cool. Panic Attack driving into the pit.
That bloody gyro, yeah.
Yeah, but Series 4
saved a lot of hassle, didn't it?
Can't wait for Series 4 version. But that was the international special, folks. I feel drained. I feel drained. Not as much as these series as Heat P or Heat C, but I'm up there.
I'm gonna go and just snort a line of coke to help me forget this.
Good idea. Good idea. Don't do drugs, kids, unless you want to. In that case, that's okay.
Yeah, don't do drugs unless you can afford them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're quite expensive habits. Make sure you have a bank account in advance.
Yes,
that's my advice. But anyway,
just snort a sherbet. It's much more fun. Anyway.
I did that. It hurts. I'm sorry.
So did I. It gave me a massive bloodshot eye as well. My mum thought I was dying.
It didn't do it to me. I just sneezed it out again. It went everywhere. But
it gave me a nosebleed and when one of my eyes go really bloodshot.
Anyway, before we start talking about random shit with his children, I'm Jimjamatic, giving you terrible drug advice and signing off at the same time.
And I'm Anderson 9132, and I've just given up.
Oh God, pray for us. Pray for us.
Pray for us. Hey, not to be fair, it's not too long till Series 4.
Yay!
That might help me kick my alcohol addiction. Hooray!
Woo! See you later, folks.